Hey everybody, I'm Scotty D, and this is part 4 of Over the Top Rope Special on WrestleMania 31 pre the Unhypening. And so we come to the two last title matches on the card. I'm going to start with the one that's actually interesting. John Cena versus the Russian hero Rusev for the U.S. title. If you watched Monday Night Raw this week, you probably saw one of the most horrific things ever that's been done on the show. In the PG era, at least. I'm not sure if anyone caught this, but Cena did a heel turn. I don't think anyone caught this, though. Why? Because fuck Rusev and fuck Russia. Because that's exactly how people seem to be thinking about this angle. Okay? But Cena did a heel turn. And not only did he do a heel turn, he did a fuck you heel turn. Okay? So, let me paint the picture here. Just to show this off. Just to explain this for a minute, okay? So, Rusev has a match with Curtis Axel. Beats him. Shocker. Then talks smack about America, which John Cena had warned him earlier that night. You fucking say one thing about America, I'll come and get you. So he talks shit about America, Rusev, because fuck it. He can say whatever he wants in a country that has and accepts and promotes freedom of speech, correct?
Except when it's about America.
Except when it's negative about America, apparently.
Yep.
So John Cena comes running out, slams Rusev, and then throws on the STF. And holds this thing on and bends Rusev in such a way that he ends up passing out. He continues to hold on the lock, which, by the way, this is a heel move right here, by holding on a lock longer than this. Even if you're trying to do it against someone who is a heel. The referees come down, they say, John, get off of him. John, you gotta stop. John. John lets go, rolls out of the ring, goes over to the side where the announcer table is, grabs a bottle of water, comes back into the ring, takes a sip, splashes Rusev in the face, waking him up, and then puts the STF back on him, and continues to just wrench his fucking face and leg and body. All the while, Lana is screaming for fucking mercy and for John to let him go.
That's not a babyface move.
Pleading with him. By the way, if you know anything about, behind the show and everything, you'd know for a fact that Lana and Rusev are really a thing, So, you have this guy who's the champion in the ring getting choked to death while his girlfriend is pleading for the guy to stop. And John Cena is the hero? Let me just stop you right there for a minute, WWE. Let's rewind the tapes, but not too far, to about 2.5, 3 months ago. When Seth Rollins did the exact same thing to Cena, but used Edge to get the authority back. And this was a heel move. This was the heeliest of moves. Yet, that was a bad thing to do. But trying to choke a guy to death until his girlfriend says, fine, we'll give you a fucking title match, just stop, is a good thing. Did you think this through at all? Did you think, gee, making John Cena look like a psychopath might not be that big of a deal? Did you honestly think that? Rusev is so fucking babyface right now, it's not even funny. John, just that look on his face when he released the STF and rolled over and just kind of just evil smiled at Lana. What the fuck? What the fuck was that? I'm cheering for Rusev. You know why? Because he's fighting a psychotic, patriotic jingoist who's willing to not only just beat him in a match, but try to kill him over a fucking belt. Because America. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I can see maybe Jack Swagger doing that because he's teamed up with the Teabagger who does that and says that literally. But John Cena? Now, I know what a lot of people are thinking right now. But this is great. We wanted a John Cena heel turn. Well, here's the thing. This isn't going to be a heel turn. John Cena's still going to be a face. He will go into that match being the good guy, you know? And we all know it. Why? Because Rusev is Russian. Or he's representing Russia. Russia's bad right now because, oh, that's the way it is with Putin and fucking all that shit going on in the real world. This is bad. This is tasteless. And this is poor angling. It's like when they did Sergeant Slaughter as a sympathizer during the fucking Gulf War. You know? It's disgusting. It's insulting. And it plays off one of the stupidest fucking things that someone can feel sometimes. You know? There's nothing wrong with patriotism. But when you take it to such an extreme level, especially on a show that you're now trying to market to fucking kids, to say that America is always right, forever number one, fuck anyone else who thinks anything else, there is something wrong. You are sending the wrong message. Can't show Randy Orton giving the finger. That's offensive. Can't have blood and gore in a Hell in a Cell match. That might be bad. But you show someone beating the fuck out of and trying to choke someone to death who insulted America, that's fine. That's cool. I was repulsed by the segment on Raw. I was absolutely fucking repulsed by this. I don't get to use that word often, but I'm doing it right now. It was disgusting. It was tasteless. And whoever wrote this whole angle up thinking that John Cena choking a man, trying to choke a man to death was a good idea, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself. And you should be fired. I have no problem with John Cena doing a heel turn, but you're going to treat him like a face after this, and we fucking know it. And I'm going to say it right now. If John Cena beats Rusev at WrestleMania 31, then, and the streak, essentially Rusev's winning streak was for nothing, then I can pretty much tell you that over the top rope, Sam can have it. I'll be done. That's terrible. It's terrible that all this build-up was for some jingoistic, nationalistic, flag-waving, dick-waving bullshit. I've always thought patriotism is a little bit of bullshit. There's nothing wrong with feeling good about where you're from, but when you use it to divide yourself from other people, fuck off. I know what you'll say, yeah, but Rusev does that. Yeah, and Rusev is the designated heel. Why? Because Russia. But John Cena is supposed to be a hero. A good guy, you know? And if this is his motivation when it comes to America, fuck him. Fuck him, fuck everything he stands for. Rusev stands for more of of what the US title is supposed to mean right now than John Cena. Rusev is going in against a psychotic patriot. It makes me fucking sick. And so we come to the main event. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. So, have these two even talked to each other? I know Roman Reigns has talked to Paul Heyman. I don't think Brock and Reigns have ever encountered one another even. Bless you, Paul Heyman. Bless you. You have carried the feud on Brock's side. And I like that you've built it up in such a great way. Paul Heyman, you're a great mouthpiece. Paul Heyman, you're a great spin doctor. Paul Heyman, You could convince me just to empty out my wallet into your pocket. You probably could if we ever met. But we actually need Brock there to show how important the fucking match is going to be. Okay? You know? They're trying to play this off the whole UFC, oh, he walked out on Raw to go see UFC shit thing angle. It's a good angle. But, again, that doesn't build up Brock against Roman Reigns. That builds up Brock against the WWE. And the fact that Paul kept on playing this angle like, well, if we lose, it might be because they decide to pull a Montreal screw job on us. Again, you're not playing off of Roman, you're playing off the WWE. You're playing off of Vince as the villain. You're playing off Triple H and Steph as the villain. You're not playing off of Roman Reigns, your opponent. Which would be which, you know, he kind of needs right now. He looks very vulnerable and weak. He's been put into matches that are just bullshit for the past 3 weeks, and somehow they think this is going to make Roman look strong. And it doesn't. It doesn't at all, you know? Okay, so I'm going to tell you what the ideal ending for this will be. And then I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Because ideally, I see it going one way, but the way the WWE works, it's going to go the other way. So here it is. Ideal match with ending. Brock Lesnar comes out. Roman Reigns comes out. And they start to fight. And let's say this is going to be on par with, say, Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. They could probably put on a really good match. Carry each other for a good 5-6 minutes until Brock starts to show more endurance than Roman Reigns. Brock starts to beat the shit out of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns will still at some point land, say, a Superman punch or a spear. But Brock will just plow through it and keep fighting back. Brock hits the F5. Brock hits the F5 again. Brock hits a series of suplexes and the F5 one more time and pins Roman in the middle of the ring. But that's not the end. As soon as that happens, Seth Rollins comes marching out. Brock Lesnar looks pretty damn tired. Not beaten exactly, but kind of tired at least. Seth cashes the Money in the Bank contract and walks in. Him and Brock Lesnar stare each other down. Paul Heyman's in the side yelling, "Do it, Brock! Do it! Do it, Brock! Do it!" And so Brock Lesnar lays on the mat. Seth Rollins pins him. 1, 2, 3. It's the biggest and most solidifying heel move in WrestleMania history. Maybe. Seth Rollins walks out, the World Heavyweight Champion. Brock Lesnar springs to his feet afterwards, completely fine. Says, "See you later. I'm going back to UFC." Brock gets what he wants. He gets to leave. Paul is free to do whatever he wants. He could be... You can make him look like the one who orchestrated this a couple months ago with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is solidified as probably one of the greatest fucking heels in the world. He walked into WrestleMania not even part of the main event, and he wins the fucking champion. Seth Rollins is so fucking underutilized. That's why this needs to happen. That's why this would be great. That's the ideal scenario from me. Now let me tell you what's really going to happen. It's going to go back and forth for about 15 minutes. And then Roman Reigns is going to win. Then The Rock is going to come out. While everyone's booing, by the way. To congratulate him. And the Usos will come out too. And maybe even Rikishi Fatu, because they're actually all part of the same family, to my knowledge. They're all within the same Samoan family. And then we'll get confetti. There you go. That's it. WrestleMania 31. That's what's going to happen. I'm calling it right now. So it's all up in the air right now. And it's all pretty garbage. I don't know anymore. Like I said, if Cena fucking wins and becomes U.S. champion, I'm done. I will change this to something else that I can talk about. I'll start doing fucking Lucha Underground. They got fucking Alberto Del Patron there at least, you know? Fuck, man. I'll go and talk about fucking TNA Impact instead if fucking John Cena wins. John Cena wins, I will do a week of fucking just TNA. It's depressing, it really is. I want to like these guys, but they're just... The writing is so bad and weak and cliche and terrible and nonsensical and fucking jingoistic that it's garbage. You know? WWE put up a poll on their website asking which independent leagues people watch. Part of me wants to believe they're doing that just because they want to see how people will react to NXT going on tour. By the way, if NXT comes to Vancouver, I'm fucking going to that shit, man.
Dude, I'm gonna be there with bells on.
Fuck yes. Another part of me even more just looks at the list and goes, be afraid, be very afraid. You know? Remember what happened when fucking McMahon years ago fucking dominated and bullied his way through the goddamn territories? That was a fucking bad time. And then the Indies came along, which was okay. Imagine if McMahon did that again. Snap up all that fucking talent as quick as they can. That will be a dark day for wrestling. It's supposed to be entertaining. They call themselves... They say it's World Wrestling Entertainment. You know what? This isn't entertaining, though. This is sad. This is pathetic. This is aiming for the lowest common denominator on fucking feuds. You got to give your audience a little more credit, you know? You gotta realize that your audience these days, both online and offline, can think a little deeper than going, America! We'll get behind them! I don't care what South Park put, you know? You gotta stop showing absolute contempt for your fans. I'd like to point out that in all of this, once again, no Daniel Bryan bookings. I know that they say that on Thursday he's going to announce himself for fucking the Intercontinental title battle, but that's... Fuck, whatever. You know? We'll see how this goes in a couple of weeks. But I just can't take this bullshit much longer. Thank you for joining me for Over the Top Rope, the WrestleMania 31 Unhypening. It's not happening, people. It's not happening.